Surely this will be a game I play every now and then.
Seems I came at a bad time.
Hoyoverse, do not do this to me. Please do not make me love this game. I have played your other game longer than I should have, and I am not going to get swindled by another one of your
Flaming lights! Forward!
Huh. Well, that was more fun than I thought, but I really should get back to Genshin and do my... Oh no. Where do I even begin with this? I went to Honkai with no expectations. Beyond the polish you can expect of Hoyoverse titles, I wrote the game off as just another turn-based gacha game, which I have played many a times. Even then, I was already playing other gachas such as Genshin Impact and Pushing Greater Even. And 2 gachas, let alone 1, is already enough for a single person. But I tried the game out anyways as it was free, and contrary to what others may have you believe, you do not need to spend your money on every single gacha game you play. I know, what a crazy idea, right? Now the game has been out for over a week, and the question on everyone's mind is, when will Hoyoverse buff Dea? But less importantly, is Honkai Star Rail any good? And my answer to that question is, no. Hoyoverse hates Dea, but yes, Honkai Star Rail is good.
Nice.
I can't recall enjoying the launch of a gacha game as much as I'm enjoying the launch of Star Rail, and I've played launches of titles such as Arknights and... Oh. Rest in peace, sweet prince. You were too good for this world. I would even say I enjoy this game's launch more than Genshin's launch, which is surprising given that Genshin arguably had more content due to its open world. But I personally did not enjoy the game at the time due to a small roster of characters and a gameplay loop that was not all too engaging. Yet at the same time, Star Rail also has those same issues, again, with a small roster of characters and a gameplay loop that is, well, not all too engaging. So where do I draw the line between the two? Because I went to Star Rail with no expectations, I managed to make the most fun out of my time. I am well aware what kind of game Star Rail is, and I know what the game will eventually become. But for now, I am just here to simply enjoy the ride. Before I continue talking about why I enjoy Star Rail, I should start by addressing the elephant in the room, that being the turn-based combat. This is a far departure from the action-based combat that Hoyoverse is known for, from titles such as Genshin Impact or the original Honkai Impact III. So already the game was at odds with the same fans who played their other titles. Not only that, but within the medium of gacha games, Star Rail is far from the most unique, as gacha games have traditionally used turn-based combat, meaning that comparisons between Star Rail and its contemporaries are going to happen, for better or for worse. Let me talk about that for a brief moment. Combat in Star Rail is rather simple, with each character only having at most 3 actions: their basic attack, their skill, and their ultimate. You can make an argument to include passes and techniques, but I am mainly talking of the buttons you actually press in a battle. Of course, there are other factors to account for as well, such as skill points and weakness breaks, but when all is said and done, Star Rail is now going to offer the most complex combat, which is okay. Not every gacha game needs to be an FGO or a PGR. Sometimes you do want a game that is not going to cost you a brain cell or 2 to play. And that's not to say Star Rail is a complete cakewalk either. No, some fights in this game can be difficult because having so few actions means that each choice you make is that much more important. One wrong move and you will die. But not everyone will like it, however. There will be the camp of players who want something more complex or something completely different, as there will also be the camp of players who are content with what Star Rail has to offer. There is no changing that. But you know what can change? My profile picture. So I can swap out to best girl. But what can also change is my opinion. Again, I said before that Star Rail's issues lie in its small roster characters and simple gameplay loop, the same reasons why I fell off of Genshin initially. And because of those reasons, I was afraid that I'd fall off of this game too. However, there was one aspect of Star Rail that had stopped me from doing so, and that one aspect is none other than the characters. To me, what makes a good gacha game is its characters. The characters are the ones who travel alongside you in the story. The characters are the ones who you level and bring into battle. The characters are the ones who crack open your wallet and make you regret your financial decisions. No matter how indifferent I feel towards a game or any piece of media, so long as I enjoy its characters, then I am willing to see it through to its end. And I want to say Starro is no exception, but really, I think Starro is the exception. No other gacha game has made me love its characters as much as Starro has. Individually, their personalities may not be anything special, but when they come together and start interacting with each other, that is when I think the game is at its best. Let's use an example. In Genshin Impact, Paimon serves as the voice for our Traveler, as the Traveler is a mostly silent protagonist. Through Paimon, are we able to then engage with the world and its characters. On paper, Paimon should have been the solution to making a silent protagonist interesting. Only problem is, most people do not like Paimon. I also do not like Paimon. I find her rather annoying. And the fact that she is your only traveling companion throughout the entirety of the game does not make my opinion any better. So stop forcing me to like her, game. Stop forcing me to give her compliments that she absolutely does not deserve. Breathe in, breathe out. How does Starro address this issue? How does Starro manage to tell a story through a silent protagonist? The answer? 2 Paimons. Hold on, that sounded better in my head. Let me explain. March 7th and Dong Hung act as your Paimon in Honkai Star Rail, traveling alongside your Trailblazer and serving as your means to be involved in the narrative. But unlike Paimon, there are 2 of them, meaning that rather than ad-libbing to the world's most charismatic brick wall, the 2 can instead make conversation between themselves and the Trailblazer. March's bubbling personality contrasting with the straight man that is Dong Hung. Dialogue then becomes less expository and more dynamic, making for some fun character interactions that has you excited to see more. That's not even mentioning how much character our own Trailblazer has, serving the role as the de facto hero, but also being a snarky degenerate that loves talking to trash cans. Yes, this is canon. And I have yet to even mention the other characters, like how Herda is the literal incarnate of that lost sassy child meme, or how Sampo can just break the 4th wall as he pleases, or how the gremlin that is Chinche literally puts a gacha in the gacha. Look, I can go on forever about the characters in this game, but then I would never get this video out, so take my word in saying that Honkai Star Rail has one of the most likable casts in any gacha game that I have ever played. And because of that reason alone, I continued playing, and somewhere along the way, I started to appreciate everything else the game had to offer. Combat is simple, yes, but that just makes farming much less exhausting without taking away the difficulty of harder encounters. Exploration is much more narrow in scope, but within that scope is a world full of details to discover. Even the smaller systems, such as the Astro Express and text messages, just make the game feel more alive. But of course, Star Rail is not completely void of any issues, such as how relics are more strict to build than artifacts in Genshin, or how the standard bender does not guarantee characters or light cones. Even then, I still really enjoy this game. Some may claim that this is simply the honeymoon phase or that I am just biased towards Hoyoverse, but I do genuinely enjoy my time with the game. All because I had no expectations going into it. I did not go into this game expecting to love everything presented before me, nor did I go into this game ready to criticize everything, even slightly questionable. I went into Honkai Star Rail to simply have fun. As I said earlier in this video, I know what kind of game Star Rail is, and I know what the game will eventually become. No matter how good or bad that game may turn out to be, I just know that I am having fun in the meantime. And honestly, that's all that really matters in the end. You know, I was planning on discussing on how to make combat slightly more complex by giving each character another skill or even a guard button, but this is Hoyoverse we're talking about. No matter how much we beg, we will never get the Herda buff that we all deserve. It's okay, Herda. Maybe you can Kuru another timeline where Hoyoverse actually makes changes to characters post-launch, without needing a remob outside their doors.